Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream with Save Me From. I'm really excited for this live stream where we are going to be celebrating the unicorn after party because yesterday was the season finale of the hit sitcom The Unicorn. Hello, thank you everyone for joining, and we have a very special guest here joining us on our live stream. We have Tasha MUAH, and she is a makeup and also hairstylist. She is the hair department head on the Unicorn. So perfect. I'm going to go ahead and invite Tasha in here. Thank you so much to everyone who's joining in. And if you're ready, Tasha, I'm going to go ahead and cue you in. And we're so excited to meet with you stream where we're going to talk about behind the scenes hairstyling, really just getting that hair just camera ready. Hello, Tasha.
Hi, I can't see you just yet. I think it's connecting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a little circle, but so excited.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Super excited to be here.
Yes, well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us because, you know, honestly, you are just such a multifaceted, talented artist. So we are just so honored for your time today here in this stream, just talking about the Unicorn. Honestly, that season finale was so fun.
Did you love it?
Yeah, it was so good. I love the ending too. I mean, really, that is just, I think the character's name is Wade. I always get him kind of confused. His name's Wade. Is that correct?
Wade, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome, just how the whole like ending happened, and of course the fight scene. That was pretty intense.
I know you weren't expecting that from the Unicorn, right?
No, definitely not. He's pretty bold, but yeah.
It was, and a kind of a little bit of a cliffhanger there. So
yes, oh my gosh.
Fingers crossed for season 3. Hopefully we did really good yesterday. So
yeah, oh I know, and actually I have a stat here that CBS actually ranked 3rd in ratings actually yesterday because of the Unicorn. So that is such good news. I mean, that is such a great, and I loved how there were like 2 back-to-back episodes. I understand that, you know, last week there was the presidential address, so they had to, you know, push the Unicorn for like a back-to-back episode, but I love that. I thought it was so fun just to be able to watch.
A whole hour instead of just a half an hour. Right?
I know, it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well,
I was watching it and I was like, dang, it's like, you know, you're there for a whole week filming this one like 30-minute episode. It's
I know, right? There's
interesting
so much
to watch.
So much that gets like, you know, involved in really just creating that like 30-minute episode that just goes by in a flash, you know, but there's just so many different like looks, and the fact that you're the hair department head, you know, and I see here we have Sophie in here that she's the key hairstylist as well.
Yes, hey Sophie.
Yeah, well, we absolutely love working with you too, and of course I know Gina, I think, is also someone else who works on your team as well. So we are just so honored to work with you guys, and talented artists as yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we love working with you guys. You guys have been, thanks to Sophie for making the connection, honestly, if nobody knows, but Sophie's the one who made the initial connection, and we loved having your product in the trailer, honestly.
Oh my gosh, well, that is amazing to hear, because that's the thing, right, is when it comes to like hair and hairstyling, there is nothing really you can do to conceal hair damage. I think a lot of us, you know, are kind of just doing a lot of kind of concealing when it comes to the damage, but when it's like, when you're under camera, you know, high definition, there is nothing really you can hide when it comes to the
there's
hair
no
health,
hiding,
right?
yeah, there's no hiding. I mean, there are some tricks of the trade that you can get away with and finesse some stuff, but yeah, definitely healthcare.
Well, I will definitely have to get those tricks from you, because I certainly can use all the help I can get, because I've definitely put my hair through the ringer. Of course, that was before Save Me From, and really I've had a whole hair health transformation, thankfully, to save me from. So let's go ahead and get into talking about you. Of course, you know, you have worked on several different shows as well. But what is so unique about the Unicorn is really just the fact that you really get to work with a lot of different, you know, people, and just the fact of the matter too is that everybody is just so like kind, and it just seems like so much fun, like the energy behind the scenes. I absolutely love the takeovers, like on the Unicorn stories. It just seems like so much fun to be able to kind of see, you know, just the whole chemistry of the cast, like also, you know, behind the scenes, but then also like in the show. It's just, everyone is just so perfect, you know, really a perfect cast.
Yeah, it's a really fun trailer to be in. It's a fun cast to work with. A lot of the cast has worked together before on different shows, so you can really feel the camaraderie and just that kind of family love. It really is a big family, so it's fun. It's fun to be in the trailer and experience that and be on set and kind of get to see the quirky behind the scenes. I know they kind of had a takeover by Maya Lynn, who plays Michelle on the show, and she was kind of showing some behind the scenes as well, of like some of the stuff that happens and goes on. It was a lot different this season, though. Season 2 was a lot different just with COVID and everything and the obstacles that we had and faced trying to make sure the hair looked good and make sure everybody was looking good but still safe at the same time, you know. So
yeah, which is so great. I mean, that's what's so hard, I think, in this really tough year is just, you know, also just being able to continue working and also being really careful. But I really feel like the show is something we really need during this time. It's just so lighthearted, and it's just really, honestly, for even myself, it just really kind of takes you out of kind of your current situation and kind of into, you know, Wade's situation. And it's so funny as well. It's just the situations that he's in, you know, it's just like, wow, you know, it's really something that I feel like we really needed this year because it was a tough year. And I know, I'm sure on set, you know, just having to take all the precautions, I know that makes things harder too.
it definitely does, but I'm sure like the cast and everybody would be so happy to hear that. It kind of helped take you away from the reality and just all the bad stuff that's been going on around us. We've been bombarded, I feel like, with so many different negative things that are going on, and this is kind of a show that's really about like community and love. So
yeah, and I love that about this show. It's just like so, you know, uplifting. I think we all really need that. And it's just such an authentic cast as well. You know, you just really feel like you're kind of in their friend group, and so that is so nice, because we could all use a little bit of that right now. But I know that you have been working in the industry for 12 years, and you also worked on like some other shows, The Good Place, and then there was the Titan Games, and then Bosch. So what's so unique about working on the unicorn compared to maybe some of the other sets you've been able to work on and with some of those cast members?
You know, every show is different. Every show is unique depending on what the needs are for the hair and stuff. I would say the biggest difference for me is I was the department head on the show, so a lot more responsibility, a lot more things for me to pay attention to, especially when it comes to breaking down the script and everything. And this was actually my first department head position, so I learned a lot the first season and was able to take that into the second season, but there was still so much to be learned, and still I'm sure more that I'm going to be learning. But that was really probably the biggest dynamic. I have been in the hair industry for 12 years, but I have only been in the union for about 2.5, 3 years. So
wow,
I'm relatively new. I'm what they would call as green in the union. So to be able to be a department head on such a big show is really just like a blessing. And I'm so grateful to everybody who kind of helped make that happen. So
yes, yeah, I mean, honestly, and the fact that you have just such like versatile experience, is not only are you a hair master and magician, but then also makeup artist too. So you're just so multifaceted in like what you really can do. And I think that's something that's wonderful, is that you're really getting that recognition you so deserve for your hard work and really just where you are, you know. And so you mentioned you've been a part of the union. So in order to like work on sets, I am aware that you guys are like, you know, part of a union. Is that something that is just, that's the way you go about getting started working on sets?
yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways. There are different ways that you can get into the union. The way that I got in was I actually worked at ESPN for about 3 years, and so that's how I got my set experience. And you can work on sets or on Disneyland. There's a couple different ways to get in. The easiest way, honestly, is to get on a show that flips. So it's a show that's already going on. They get picked up and they flip to union, and then you can just automatically get in. The way I got in is called the 60-60-60. So it takes 3 years. You have to do 60 hours of set work, qualified set work. which is a kind of a catch-22 because you can't really be on union sets if you're not a union worker, and vice versa. So, and it's kind of difficult to get in. I didn't think that I was actually going to ever get in, and thank God to my friend Gabby, who recommended me to get onto ESPN, and I was there 3 years with Carrie Champion, which was amazing, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about live TV, because that is a live television set, which is a lot different than filming. You have to make sure that hair is looking impeccable.
Perfect.
Yeah, before those cameras start rolling.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I bet that's a lot of pressure, because, you know, you see, you know, behind the scenes, you know, getting the hair like perfect for that shot, you know, like on sets or like photo shoots. But then when, you know, someone's on camera, like the flyaways, like everything is going to be picked up. So you just have to make sure every little strand of hair is like perfectly placed.
And that was another challenge that we faced with COVID, because usually you get to go on set and touch them up while they're in place on their mark. You get to do what they call last looks. And you go in and you do your final touches, and you make sure that the hair looks just how you want it to look without them moving around too much, the actress or actor moving around too much. But with COVID, we weren't able to do that, because it's, you know, when you're walking into set, it's a limited amount of people that can actually be on set. So we would just have to try to get it as nice as you can, and like let your actress or actor know, like, we have this amount sitting in the front, just so that they can watch continuity, because that was probably like the biggest thing, is the continuity, and making sure that there was no weird like flyaway or piece that looked really funky, because we weren't able to run in and go in like we were for the first season.
Wow, that is really interesting, because we've actually been wondering that. You know, I've been seeing kind of some of the behind the scenes like pictures where you're actually working on Ruby J, and just like, I guess it was a video actually. It was like a behind the scenes kind of glimpse. I think season 1, where you were kind of placing her hair and she's sitting in the kitchen. And I always wondered, like, is that how it goes? Or, you know, like, are you right there, like up until the minute where they just like start, you know, filming, making sure it's perfect. So that's interesting, you know, because then in a way you really have to have that assurance, like in your styling products, and, you know, really just the foundation of that hair is so critical when it comes to having that perfect, you know, camera ready style.
Which is why Save Me From was so crucial to us in the trailer, because that is the initial foundation, right? Is like making sure that those proteins, and you start with healthy hair, because you can only layer so many products onto the hair. But if the foundation isn't good and the foundation's crap, then it's kind of hard to make shit look like a flower, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean? So.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. And that is so wonderful, because I was curious as to like why you select Save Me From. And I know Ruby J, and I know that
we're obsessed with that thermal obsession, literally obsessed with thermal
This is an
obsession.
all-star product, and like it's so versatile. I love, because it's super concentrated, like from the actual pump. We have like this airless pump, which is so nice.
Which I love the pump.
Yeah, you
very sanitary and great for COVID. It made all the talent feel very safe.
Oh, good. Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, seriously, April, our founder, she has a skincare background, so she's like really all about like stability. So airless, you know, components is really like really important. But then the sanitization, or really hygiene, you know, making sure it's hygienic, and especially when you're using it on multiple people, you know, and you might be using, you know, some people like put their hands in jars and stuff, and so then that can contaminate the product. It can make the product actually less stable and effective. And so that's what's so great, is this is literally skincare, like for your hair. And actually, I know like scalp
for your
care
hair,
is really big. Yeah, scalp care is like so hot right now, which rightfully so, because, you know, healthy hair emerges from a healthy scalp. And what I love about these treatments is that they are like so not like versatile, but then they also have this built-in scalp kind of benefit from our fenugreek, which has that really intriguing warm maple smell that's interesting. But it really yields such incredible benefits for the hair and that scalp, especially when it comes to like, you know, just having shine and strength when your hair is really growing. Because I have, you know, breakage from coloring, and I found just such a huge improvement in my hair. So since you've like styled with, you know, the cast members, have you, and with Save Me From, have you noticed like a difference in like the health of their hair? Like, are noticing that maybe the style is looking a little bit like, you know, more just fresh and healthy and vibrant, I guess you could say? Like, what are some things?
So we actually used it on 3 different of our actresses, and I kind of want to go through each one and why we decided to use it for them and how it kind of benefited their hair, because each one really was impressed with the results, and so was Sophie. And when I say we, I'm usually talking about me and Sophie, as she was like my right hand for the show. So we did use it on Ruby J. Ruby J has had past trauma to her hair. She's naturally a redhead. She's been dyed blonde. She's been dyed back red. We're trying to get her back into her natural red state. And so color falls out of her hair. If you understand, the hair does not grab the red as much as it used to because it was bleached so much. Her hair came to us very damaged. So in the trailer, that is the biggest thing with her, is making sure that her hair is not being overly damaged. And we use heat on her every day, because if you see, her hairstyle is a wave. So we would use heat every single day, and her hair's already damaged. So keeping up with our treatments when we were coloring her hair and trimming it really helped to maintain that like softness of her hair, because if her hair is angry, which it sometimes was a lot on season 1, it'll frizz up. So we would always use that. We would use it as a treatment after washing Ruby J's hair. And we also used it on Michaela Watkins, who has color in her hair as well, but she more so has a texture that's more prone to like frizzing. She has curly hair naturally, and so to get that smooth, silky look that Sophie produced for her, a big part of that was the Save Me From conditioner, helping to tame her hair. And she would get a blowout once, 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what styles we were doing in her hair. And then the third castmate that we would use it on is Mackenzie Moss. And she has a head full of hair. It's beautiful, thick, long hair. We don't use a ton of heat on her hair, but she has a lot of past color damage that she has. And so she had dyed her hair over the break from season 1 to season 2. So we had to make sure that we were coloring her hair regularly, and so that affects the hair as well. And so we would always finish up with the treatment, and we would actually send it home with some of the castmates as well if we knew like we wanted to treat their hair overnight, and they'd use it as an overnight treatment. And they'd come and their hair would feel just so soft and manageable. And it just, you know, like sometimes when you can tell like the hair is getting burnt out and it kind of has that like burnt smell, like we just wouldn't get that no matter how much heat we were using. Like you could just tell the hair was really protected.
Yeah, that's amazing, because they're going through so many different styles and looks, I mean, on a daily basis, but sometimes even multiple different styles like in one day. So the constant like heat styling is really just drying out the hair. It's making the hair even more exasperating. Maybe that's some of that frizz or that dryness, that roughness, which is so awesome that, you know, you use the thermal obsession, or, you know, kind of prescribe that as like that overnight intensive repair, because that's really when you're going to see that the best result is like when it's in the hair for a great long time. Overnight, it really does have that amazing transformation. And you would use a lot more, you know, in an overnight. For some of our viewers who haven't actually tried Save Me From, you can use these here. They're a hybrid treatment that you can use either as like an intensive overnight reparative mask, or also like a lightweight leave-in styler, which you had mentioned.
I love the leave-in. Like for curls, the curly hair too, it is very light, and it really gives like soft, bouncy curls when used as a leave-in. So I've actually used it as that as well on my own hair.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, your curls are looking so good, so defined. Perfect. I need your tips.
I attribute it to you guys, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are just so thankful. And the fact too, these are so concentrated. And so you really kind of have to work with the texture a little bit kind of dilute it to be really that perfect kind of emulsification that really seamlessly blends in. Because it's such a unique product, it's really potent and rich in these active ingredients. It's actually formulated with less water than your typical like hair mask or hair products, which we'll actually be talking about that next week. We'll be interviewing our chemist to talk about their formulas a little bit, but that's something that we hear a lot is, how do I use it? How does a mask actually, work as these two, overnight or leave in? And it really just kind of fits into your styling lifestyle. And that's so great to hear about how you use it on set with like all kinds of different hair textures, hair concerns, and that this one product was like so versatile that it really just yielded these great benefits like long lasting styles and really moisturizing the hair, locking in that hydration, which is so critical when it comes to the heat styling, which we all know from the heat styling, if we do it, a lot of it, we'll just see breakage and, dryness.
Dries it out and...
Yeah, that is never a good look. But, their hair looks so shiny and so healthy. That was something I noticed like all season, that the hair just looked so immaculate. It was just perfect. So I have to say, props to you and Sophie and Gina.
And Ginger as well. We have Ginger as well on our team.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Well, I have to follow Ginger because, I love your guys' work. I always love, updates and, just seeing what you guys are up to because I need your tips. You guys are so amazing at hair. And so, like, what are maybe some of your tips for like achieving like a durable style, especially like when you're on set and the talent is, having to go through, hours of filming and shooting? Like, what are some of your tips on like getting a durable hairstyle?
Yeah, sure, because there's a lot of times when we're on set and we are starting our morning early, right? Especially the women, we have to start at like 5:30 and we're probably not even going to start shooting until 8 p.m., 8:30, and then that hair may have to last until 8 p.m.
Wow,
maybe even 10, 11.
Insane.
So the initial styling is very important. Obviously, like we said, hair care is so vital, and making sure that the hair is healthy so that it is able to hold on to the product and respond to whatever heat you're putting in, and that it's able to keep that memory. But really the biggest thing I think for me is layering my products. So I really like to use a nice heat protectant, a nice end sealer to start with. And then I like to layer on like a heat protectant that has some type of hold to it. So we're already building in that hold, and I'll layer as I'm going through styling the hair. And then in the end, I like to use some, maybe more of like a flexible strong hold hairspray, something that you're going to be able to brush through if you need to change the hairstyle, because maybe there's a day change halfway through the day or a scene change and the hair needs to be different now. So you need to be able to brush through and go through with the heat again if needed, and you can't cake on too many products if you're going to be doing that. So we actually really like the product too called Milk, is one that we use a lot on set that really helped to get any of those flyaways tamed, but it didn't weigh the hair down, because it's hard when you're like continually applying product to get these flyaways to be tamed down. But you don't want to make the hair look oil and greasy by the end of the day. So it was actually a gel-based oil. It's called Milk, and that one is really amazing. And the Kevin Murphy Session Spray is fire as a finishing product. It's really amazing. My girl Aubrey Marie on The Good Place actually put me onto that product, and yeah, so layering is key, I would say. Don't wait until the end to spray a bunch of spray on. Really make sure that you're getting like a good foundation all the way to the finishing products.
Yeah, and that's super awesome just to know kind of like some of your products that are like your staple, like in your kits, just so then that way they're lightweight on the hair, they're not going to weigh it down, and they're really, that's the thing too, is you want that hair to really just, the products to just seamlessly blend into the style and not weigh it down. And of course, when you need a style to really hold up for hours, I mean, that is insane. I can't even imagine like holding a hairstyle like for 12 hours. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, I have a mini curling iron and flat iron that's that I take to set too. That's cordless, so that's also key.
That is
Just,
awesome.
little hair magic.
Yes, it's so cute, like little tools, which is so awesome. Maybe we'll see a trend on TikTok with mini straighteners and curling irons because the mini mic was interesting. So doing like little tutorials with that. So cute, which is awesome. So, you've worked on like sets, and I know you've worked also like freelance, but like what is kind of the difference between, and also you mentioned, working for live TV, what are just like some of the differences like for styling hair for film versus maybe events or, just kind of like a one-off thing? Like what are some of like, are there any differences between that kind of styling?
Yeah, for sure. I will say, well, for all of them, you're kind of like creating a character, right? So really diving into whether it's you're reading the script for it's going to be filmed so that you can get an understanding of the character and maybe what's going on in the scene and how the hair should be looking according to the character and what's happening in that scene versus trying to figure out, maybe somebody's interpreting something for art, or maybe you want to make sure that you know exactly what their gown looks like so you can make sure that the hair is consistent with that. So figuring out like what the character is, I would say, is different depending on each one. And then the continuity, keeping up with the continuity in film is so much different than when you're on set and you're just shooting for this one look. And it's okay if the hair looks different in each take. You don't have to keep running in, or even if somebody's doing red carpet, it's okay if it looks a little, natural or whatever. But when you're on film, you want to make sure that, if the hair is in the front and there's a piece in the back, that it's consistent every time that they're shooting that same scene. So those are a few differences, but you want the hair to hold up for the entire shoot or the entire filming day period. So that's pretty consistent across the board.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting too, is that, you are working on somebody who's going to be seen by, the public, and, just like there's so many eyes that are like on this person, and either it's like a live show or just like on a film or award show. And I think people can be so critical, and that's what's so hard is the pressure that you're under to have that like perfect style, that's really going to last and also not affect, the celebrity, and like that they're going to get, some sort of blogger who's on their case about like their hair looking a certain way or whatever.
Isn't that the worst?
So critical. It's so hard. And so I think that's what's so great is that, you're really just devoted to your work and also to the client, whomever, you're creating this look and this persona. And I think that's something that a lot of us just don't even really think about when we are looking at, magazines and things like that. Is there's a glam team, a squad that's really, creating this whole look for just a perfect, shots. And I think that's something too, is that, a lot of us kind of compare ourselves like, oh, I want my hair to look like this and whatnot. But I think it's amazing that, you are just so multifaceted and talented where you're able to just have that confidence, and then also your clients to be confident in, the work that you create, because the styles that you do are amazing.
Yeah, and it's I see somebody ask too, do I always get to choose the style? No, it's definitely a collaborative for sure, between the actors and the actors and the actresses. Sorry, when we're filming, and usually the photographer is in on it, or producers, depending on its film or a photo shoot. It's a collaborative effort. I feel like yes, there are times when I get to pick the style, but I have to make sure that it obviously fits the look and the feel that everybody's trying to achieve, right? So I don't get to just go and pick something wild or, my own creative idea that I want to have. And on the unicorn, a lot of it too, we are talking like with the producers and stuff to make sure that we get notes and stuff on how the hair and makeup and wardrobe is looking. So the producers are definitely playing a big part in that, as well as the actors and actresses as well.
Yeah, well, that is so awesome. And, speaking of the unicorn, there was just the second season finale, but what are just like some of your most memorable moments, like working on set or just with the cast or really just the show?
There's so many memorable moments. Honestly, that last episode, the finale, was probably the most memorable just because we were filming nights. I don't know, that was,
Gosh.
we didn't normally shoot during nights, but those were some long nights that we shot. So it was a different experience. And we had a lot of cast, and it was fun because we got to kind of dress up our cast members, the actresses. We usually have their hair styled in a pretty like casual hairstyle, so we got to glam them up a bit and add some fun accessories. So that was fun and memorable. But probably the punch scene,
That was good.
the punch scene was pretty memorable, and we thought that there was going to be like a stunt double, and the actor actually ended up wanting to do it himself. So kudos and shout out to Rob Riggle for that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun, even though it was late and we were cold and the hours were long, but it was really fun, and that was a nice finale because we brought back some of our actors from the first season. So it was nice to like just kind of have everybody come and be back. Betsy Bratt came back, and she's so much fun. So that was probably the most memorable. But the whole experience, honestly, just being there day in, day out, spending so many hours with these people and the cast and crew, and it really becomes a family. And you're sad when you don't have that anymore.
No, it's like you're just like on for such, like hours. Like it's just crazy. And then all of a sudden you're kind of like in a lull until the next season, and then it's like go, go, go all over again.
Fingers crossed for third, you guys. Go back and watch.
So good. It was such a good season. I saw there was like a question, now that the unicorn is wrapped up for now, what are you up to? Like, what are you working on? Any fun projects?
Right now I'm working on Young Sheldon, which is also a CBS show. I'm kind of just helping out. I'm being helping hands. It's fun. I've worked on this show before, and it's a really great cast and crew over there as well. So that's what I'm working on now. Just waiting to find out and hear, what's going to be going on with the unicorn. And just kind of keep myself busy.
Yes. Oh, I know. And I'm sure it's like, that industry is just like all about really who you know. So it's all about networking. And I think that's really cool about like the union, that you're able to like connect with other people like in the industry, and really be able to like, work alongside each other, because I really feel like you had mentioned, it's a really collaborative effort, when it comes to the hairstyling, and you're so, talented that you can also do like makeup. So I really feel like there's always like a place for you, of course, like in the industry just to thrive. And it's really interesting because it's just a totally different, lifestyle compared to like someone who's styling hair in a salon or, just like on themselves. I think it's just like, it's so fast paced. There's so much pressure. And like you had mentioned, the hours are just so long. And I think a lot of us just don't even realize like how much effort and like planning goes into every single character's look in every episode, It's so involved. Well, I have a couple fun little questions for you, of course, about Save Me From. What is your favorite Save Me From product and why?
As we said, we gushed over Thermal Obsession, the one you had in your hand. That has to by far be my favorite, just because of how silky and soft the hair feels after. And I really feel like it is repairing the hair from the inside out. It doesn't feel like it's just something heavy and laying on top of the hair. And since I am using so much heat in the trailer on the talent, it's really like my favorite go-to. Must have in the trailer. Now that we've had it, we're not going without it.
That is so awesome. We love hearing that. I mean, we're just honored that like someone who's just like got every product you could possibly imagine, and it's really rich too for those of you who may not have seen it, to use our products like for that kind of foundation or really just that treatment to help just repair. I did see we had a question about, does this product actually heal your hair? And as actually Tasha had mentioned, it actually is really working from the inside out. We have different like molecular weights we have hyaluronic acid, which is really great for moisturizing, but also there's a marine extract, which is really great for retaining moisture. So that's so critical when you're, repeatedly or excessively heat styling. I've done that too much, but I've really noticed a huge difference with this. And it's so versatile as well with that, either that leave-in styler for hydration and really just kind of cutting frizz. It's so great as that leave-in. So I love hearing, why you love, using Save Me From on your clients, and of course the talent, when it comes to like layering those products. That's lightweight is so.
I have yet to blow dry it into the hair, but I want to try blow drying it into the hair.
Oh my gosh, you have to. Trust me. It's like your hair is so like soft, you can't stop touching it. I noticed specifically the age acceleration, the Save Me From age acceleration is like, that makes my hands soft. It's crazy. Like
that's the one I use in my hair. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's great for adding in a little bit of volume, and it actually is one of our most thickening formulas as well in the overnight treatments. Our clinical studies. We have clinical studies to prove the effectiveness of these products, and just 203% increase in thickness in those 3 overnight uses. So you're really going to see just such an incredible improvement in your hair, and that one's really great for like age defense. It's kind of like an anti-aging hair treatment for someone who's maybe experiencing thinning, because we of course want to have really thick, youthful, lustrous hair.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, so self-care is super big, and we're just curious, like, what do you like to do to unwind, especially after like a really long day on set? Like, what are some of your favorite things just to relax, to relax?
Yeah, so my favorite things is I love candles. I'm super big on candles. I love votive candles. I love a good Bath and Body Works candle. So I'll probably come home and light a candle, or if I don't have a candle available, I'll light some sage and kind of just clear the air and clear the energy. And I love to take baths, so run myself a nice hot bath and probably put a nice facial mask on, because we're in the masks for 15, 16 hours. It's been really hard on the face and skin. And a lot of times we're struggling to like even drink on set, so the skin gets so dehydrated. Yes. So I love doing, like a nice facial mask, taking a bath, a nice body scrub to like slough off all that dead skin, and then put on some nice shea moisture to just rehydrate the skin.
Yeah, that's so nice, because I like how you have like you're really taking care of yourself, from the inside out. You're really kind of setting up your space, really just taking care of your hair and body. And I just think that's what's so critical, I think, and really just maintaining, that, I don't know, that happy, energy.
It's like you did something for yourself, like you stopped and took a moment for yourself, and that just always feels good when you can do that,
Yeah.
But
oh my gosh,
it's rare, but I feel like I did get a ton of self-care during quarantine in the beginning there, and it was so nice because I usually am not able to, so.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Because I'm working so many hours, like literally a candle, and I'm out to sleep.
I know, it's like having the energy, like after you get everyone else like prepared and ready for the day, it's like, oh, myself, just like, it's easy, I'm sure, to like put yourself kind of last, but I think that's so great is that you do prioritize yourself, and really just kind of being intentional with like your time, offset. So then therefore you're recharged, you're ready to take on that next long, crazy day.
Yeah. Somebody said your hair is looking so amazing. So I just wanted to say that so that you heard it. I don't know if you caught it, but
I didn't see. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
I love her hair color.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I color it myself. I'm going to change it up, I think. But of course I was like, I have to get my hair perfect because I am of course meeting with the master of hair, but I have a little bit of, I need to get your tips, because I love, just your tutorials and stuff. And I think you're just super relatable too. Yeah. And it was funny. I saw there was like a comment that the Sun and Sweat smells like a cinnamon Yankee candle. I actually think the same thing.
Oh,
it smells so good. I love that one.
Yeah. The Yankee candles. Yeah. Yummy.
Yes.
It's so like a twofer. You get a twofer. You get some of the candle scent and some treatments to your hair.
Yeah. It's like it's a win-win. That's for sure. So we are a brand, as many of you may know, we give back 10% of our net income to suicide prevention. We're really advocating for, really just mental health awareness or emotional health awareness as well. If you could just share with us, like, what is a positive mantra that really just kind of gets you through, you know, some of the hardships of life?
A positive mantra. I guess what I really tell myself every day is, um, move with love and perseverance in your heart, and you can attain all your goals. And I think that's really just like treating everybody with love as well as yourself, and working towards whatever you feel like your calling is, and you can achieve your goals through that.
Yeah, I love that. And that's, I think what's so important is just really kind of like staying true to you and not really like getting yourself kind of like in a position where you're just comparing yourself or thinking, you know, like things could be better. I think what's so important is just like staying present in the moment and really just being grateful for what you have, even if it is a difficult time. I think
Yeah.
we all like have something that we can be grateful for in that given moment. And I know given the current situation, it's been really hard to like stay positive, but I think that's so great. You know, really great advice. Like for some of us who are just kind of wondering how do you like keep it all together, you know, especially.
I don't keep it all together, by the way. I
You do a
definitely
good
have
job.
meltdowns. I don't keep it all together, but
Yes. Oh
I
my
think
God.
that's just part of being human, and you can't beat yourself up too much about things that are out of your control, and all you can do is affect how you move forward from that, and just have a positive outlook. So
Somebody asked here, I'm just kind of going through some of the questions of our viewers. If you guys have a question, just drop them down below. But what are some of your favorite scents for candles?
What was the question?
What are your favorite candle scents?
Ooh, I love any scents that are really like warm and woody. So, oh man, you guys just put me on the spot. I think it's like teak wood. It's like teak wood mahogany from
Yes.
Bath and Body Works is fire, and their orchid, midnight orchid. Baby,
So good.
it's so good.
You
Yes.
better believe I'm there at that candle sale.
Yeah, when
out.
they have it, but it's the 3 wick candles. They're $25 when they have a sale. You got to get on it, sis. But
Oh my gosh, it's so competitive. It's crazy. I've seen some crazy candle situations. And I always go for like the intense mahogany teak wood. I don't know if you've tried the intense one, but it's like, woo!
yeah, but I love it because then I'm the type of person who I want to smell it when I walk through my front door. Like I need it to meet me at the door.
Yes, exactly. Just like, you know,
Exactly.
and it's
Like
yeah.
instant refreshness.
We have a question here. How after do you take time for self-care since your days are really long from one day to the next can be non-existent? Do you set a time or a specific day for like self-care?
Sure. Yeah. I always set Sundays for my self-care because that's just kind of preparing me for the week. I'm actually really kind of stubborn with my Sundays now, if you will. Like I make sure that I am taking some time for myself on Sundays, whether that means I'm not hanging out with my friends or I may not even get some piece of work done, but I'm making sure that I'm taking that time. So I always on Sundays. And if I ever find a day that I'm off a little bit earlier, like if I get off around 5 or 6, I make sure, because I know that may not happen for the rest of the week. So I'll try to do a little something for myself, whether it's even like making myself a really nice tea or smoothie or something like that to just, make me feel like I took a minute to treat myself.
Yeah, taking care of yourself inside and out. I think
Yeah.
which is so critical. You know, just like physically and mentally, emotionally, which is just so important. One final question, because it's a product and we just want to get as much wisdom from you as possible. What hairspray do you recommend?
Oh, I said it earlier. I really love that's hard because
Kevin Murphy, is that what that is, or
it
no?
kind of depends on like what you're using it for. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The Kevin Murphy session spray is actually really amazing. It's a gold bottle. It is a strong hold though, so if you're not light-handed with it, it will really like shellac your hair, and it'll be hard to like brush through it. Evolve, which is also a brand that we work pretty closely with on the Unicorn, they have a flex hairspray, which actually is probably one of my favorite hairsprays on the market because you can use it as a pre-styler and an after styler. It is in a spray bottle, so it's very flexible. You get a lot of movement, a lot of shine on the hair, and a lot of times when you're working on set, well, I won't say a lot of times, but it's actually not uncommon for actresses or actors to be allergic to aerosol hairspray. So the pump is actually a really good, amazing alternative, and it does give really good hold. So those are probably my top two. I know you asked for one, sorry, but those are my top two.
Oh no, we want like all of the products, like whatever's in your kit, we gotta know.
Maybe we should do like a go through my kit day or something.
Yes.
Like that.
Oh my gosh, we'd love that. Like, give us some hearts if you guys want to do that. But of course, I know.
Yeah, we can do one. So it'll be like, you know, like a section for textured hair, a section for like more straight hair, like.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be fun.
Like there's different products, you know, that are really just going to work better for different hair textures and types. And I think, you know, for fine or really thick hair, you know, it's like not one product just fits all. So we love that. I know I said that this was going to be my last question, but I have this one question I saw we got earlier on. Somebody asked, can you give any tips on how a hairstylist can join in on the union or in the union?
Yeah, okay. So what you want to do is, it's hard. It's really hard. Especially now because it's very limited as to what's going on, but really meet up with screenwriters or directors or camera people who are needing help, needing assistance. You never know what's going to flip. You know what I mean? I would say try your hardest to maybe get with an actress or an actor who's kind of well known, and they can then request you for a show. And then you kind of get like grandfathered in. Those are the main ways, or actually working on a show that's like non-union. But it's on set, so it qualifies as hours towards getting into the union.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's so interesting because, you know, you have to, of course, have some experience, you know, under your belt. And, you know, I think that's really hard is to, you know, be able to get even just started or get your foot in the door. And I think, you know, really just putting yourself out there, whatever you really can do. I think that sometimes you'll find that the response is more positive than what you actually might think. You know, it's just the first part is just getting past that fear or that doubt. And then the worst that they can say is no. You know, being persistent and, you know, really just devoted to your craft. I think that really shines through. So to any of you who are looking to kind of, you know, pursue this route, definitely like follow Tasha. She is so helpful. Like, I just love her content. And I so appreciate your time here today. Like, it is just a privilege to speak with you. Yeah, so much. We'll have to do
And you guys are welcome to like send me DMs. I respond to people. Follow me. Send me DMs if you want me to elaborate about anything or you have questions about something specific. Like, please feel free to drop me a DM. I love talking to you guys and meeting new people. So
yes, yeah, and her handle is at Tasha and then _ MUAH.
Mwah, like a kiss.
Mwah. I love that. Yeah, it's so cool. It's like kind of perfect because it's
thanks.
Like, yeah. Well, we so appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for just sharing kind of some of that behind the scenes, you know, styling tips and tricks, and of course, just getting to learn a little bit more about like what goes into becoming a stylist who works with celebrities on sets. I think that is just so fun. Just to like kind of venture into your world a little bit. I think it is so awesome. So thank you so much, Tasha.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun with you.
Yeah, it was so good.
I can't wait to do this again.
Yes, we will. Yes, definitely. I think that'll be
Allison. It was a pleasure.
Fun. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tasha. And thank you everyone who joined in on this stream today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.